This is a library. Welcome everyone to the Indigo League presents Spa vs Birmingham University Poetry Slam! I see you're all very excited. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks everyone for coming. I'm glad you're interested in slam poetry. Thanks for sitting into and listening to 2 hours of poetry rather than going over to the Vale to celebrate the yearly anniversary of domestic terrorism in the United Kingdom, or as I like to call it, 5/11. So, I don't know if any of you have been to a poetry slam before. Poetry slam is all about, not only about performance, but it's also about audience response. People having a genuine emotional response. You laugh, you cry, you get offended. That's all part of poetry slam. So, I'm just going to test out some basic emotions on you. I just need you to respond to it. So, for example, can I get like a disgusted as if someone's shown you 2 girls, 1 cup, right? 1, 2, 3. That's nice. A little bit more disgust. 1, 2, 3. Right from the gullet. I enjoyed that. Anyway, so to get another emotion, what if someone's mildly annoyed you? Like you've gone around their house for dinner and they've made some mash and they've overcooked the potatoes. And you're like, oh, have you cooked these potatoes all right? Can I get an 1, 2, 3? That's absolutely lovely. It's almost as if I was talking. Can I just get away as if you're in like a restaurant and a waitress has kind of slipped and dropped all the plates? You know the emotion I'm talking about. Don't pretend like you don't. 1, 2, 3. Most realistic of the night. I'm sensing a theme. And the last one, just pirate. Pirate. Interpret it as you will. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. I very much enjoy that. So, are we all ready for our first poet, ladies and gentlemen? Excellent. Okay. So what I want to do to get the energy built up is I want you, over there in that chair, when I point at you, I want you to stand up. This is an idea my good friend Leo gave me. When I point at you, I want you to stand up and just yell, "It begins!" at the top of your voice. And when you yell that, I want the applause and the cheering to start back there behind you and carry around all kind of like a Mexican wave of cheering. Do you think we can do that? Yeah! Are you up for that? Okay. So please welcome our first guest poet, lecturer extraordinaire, the wrecker from Exeter, prepared to be hoisted by your own canard. There you go, I got you started already. Right, wait for it. Please welcome to the stage for a guest spot, Mr. Doctor, should I say, Dr. Luke Kennard. Go! Carry him out!
Hi there. Right, Caitlin, just give me a shout when the beer's ready. That's fine, please. Okay. Hello, sorry, I haven't actually learned any of this, so I'm here as a stark warning as to what happens if you don't practice very hard and learn your work so that you can recite it and not have bundles of paper when you actually come to take the stage. This is a poem called Chorus, which I always begin with. It's sort of taken on a kind of talismanic thing for me, where if I don't begin a reading with it, the reading goes horribly wrong. Chorus. It's about depression. I always find it's best to get a night started off with a poem about mental illness. Chorus. The choir hadn't left him alone since the first day of summer. He awoke to find them stationed around his bed. One day the choir arrived without warning or explanation, sang the choir in 4-part harmony, handing him toast. On his first day back at work, the choir stood at his desk singing, "The choir are making his professional life impossible." 2 weeks later, his partner left him for an osteopath. "Hannah cannot stand the choir any longer," sang the choir. That night he pummeled the choristers with his fists. He beats the choir in frustration, but though they are bruised and bleeding at the lip, they sing with redoubled vigour, sang the choir. And then they sang, "He cannot get to sleep, he 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 cannot get to sleep," in perfect fifths until he fell asleep. "In time you may even grow fond of us," they sang quietly. Thank you. I usually say you don't have to clap after every poem, but actually in this case you do. And you have to whoop. Thank you. This is called Nut Factory. It's about working in a KP salted peanut factory. which I have done. I'm not as middle class as I sound. I learned my received pronunciation from Famous 5 audiobooks. It's true. You're laughing. Nut factory. The unshelled peanuts pour down the flume like a throng of ecstatic bald men dancing. I put my hands into the flume and raised them, and I let the peanuts fall over my head. I place a nut between my teeth. It tastes like pencil graphite. I place the bad nut in an iron trough. When the trough is full, it is taken to the furnace for disposal. The good nuts are portioned, weighed, and sealed into foil bags, but I am not involved in this. We can eat as many nuts as we like. We are all so sick of nuts, we cry sometimes. Friday mornings, we leave the factory dancing like unshelled peanuts pouring down a flume. Thank you. How's it going on the bit? Oh, thank you, Kelly. Cheers. Keep the change. Thank you. No, seriously, keep it. Now I can't open the door. Sorry, that's through. Wait a minute. I'm just going to put this down. This is the third of 4 poems. If you're like me, you were raised in a Church of England, and you used to while away the services by counting the number of verses that were left to go, and then the number of lines, and then the number of words, and then the number of syllables. Some of the hymns, I swear, were about 75 verses. Yeah, this is the third of 4. It's kind of an easy target kind of a poem. It's called The 6 Times My Heart Broke. The first time my heart broke was in an elephant graveyard. The elephant skulls looked like urinals with tusks. Why have you brought me to this elephant graveyard? I asked her. It's not working out, she said. You love me more than I love you. I thought the elephant carcasses made a nice backdrop. The second time my heart broke was in the middle of the second take of an action sequence in a heist movie. That wasn't in the script, I said to my co-star. I know, she replied, and we cowered behind the car door for a series of controlled explosions. The third time my heart broke, I had my heart removed and replaced with a donor heart. I dipped my former heart into a container of liquid nitrogen and dropped it onto a paving slab where it smashed. Art project, I explained to a pedestrian. The fourth time my heart broke was when I swept up the shards of my frozen heart and carried them in a cool box to a nearby gallery. But while I was chatting with the gallery owner, a dog used his nose to dislodge the cool box lid and ate the heart. Maybe we could exhibit the turd, suggested the gallery owner. The fifth time my heart broke was when the dog turd that was once my heart was sealed in a glass container and purchased by an elite terrorist group, exhibited as an example of Western decadence, being an especially odious example of our cultural life under late capitalism, and used to recruit car bombers, one of whom obliterated my pen pal while he was drafting a response to my overly critical review of his first novel. It was, after all, only his first. The sixth time my heart broke, I was working out my donor heart by swimming laps in a crater full of rainwater. I have nothing to say, said a boy standing at the edge of the crater, or at any rate, nobody wants to hear it. And I wanted to yell and tell him not to get discouraged, but I had swallowed a duck call, and so could only quack. He left and never painted the triptych he was supposed to. Thank you. Yeah, so this is the fourth of 4. Thanks for listening, you've been gorgeous, thank you. I think I've broken the mic. Oh, no. No, it's alright. No, I haven't. So everyone from now on is just going to have to hold it. I'm sorry about that. No, that's totally undignified. I'm just going to switch to this one. Thanks, Joe. No, it's totally good. I fucked around, sorry. Okay, let me start. I believe that's the first point to bust, but this is, I rarely write political poetry. In fact, no, that's not true. I only write political poetry, but this is an explicitly political poem. And I wrote it after hearing Tony Blair interviewed by Andrew Marr, and he answered a question by saying, I don't consider myself a left-wing or a I don't consider myself a left-wing or a right-wing politician. I consider myself a progressive politician. And that struck me as great because nobody really knows what progressive means. And that was immediately seized upon by Cameron and Clegg as well, who define themselves as progressive politicians. And it's great because now nobody really knows what anything means or why. So I wrote this called Defining Progressive. Progress. To increase in scope or severity. Progress. Political parties to surpass creed, ideology, or divergent opinion and be united in an unshakable belief in the third law of thermodynamics. This is not an ideal world. Every citizen stroke subject to implement a personal union of one policy, to pay self dues, elect self as representative for self, manage work-life balance with particular attention to unpaid overtime and stress, and conclude on the whole that self is lucky to have job at all. This is not an ideal home. Voting to be undertaken on a favourite colour, sentimental attachment to a bygone era, didn't like hair, stroke name, stroke accent basis. With relation to the state of public service, funding body or initiative, etc., henceforth A, due to mitigating circumstance, henceforth B, the nature of the two rival understandings of progress, henceforth P, inflicted upon A, and often being solely responsible for B, has come to converge such that it is now impossible for the party in power, henceforth X, 1, to take any responsibility, 2, to blame the opposition, henceforth Y. CF. Point 1. Y did it, but only because X fucked it up so badly in the first place, and vice versa. 3. For X or Y to be in any real sense in opposition on the causes of B, the state of A, and their journalistic representation, such that nobody has a leg to stand on, henceforth M. And wanders around with a placid smile of resignation, not to say complacency, henceforth N. They are, after all, still getting paid, henceforth O. This can be expressed with the following formula. A plus B minus xy to the power of P over mn equals O. This is not even an ideal kitchen. Progress, protest, satire and or active engagement with policy of any kind to be frowned upon as a bit mean. Considering M, X are doing the best they can, as are Y. Grammar, the progressive aspect, expresses incomplete action, a verb category with two principal meaning components, limited duration and possible incompletion. Thank you.
I don't want to be self-indulgent, but it's a poetry night, so fuck it. Luke Kennard again, everyone.